Hello. Hope you're doing okay today. Sorry, I was messing around with OBS and didn't realize that we had already started. So we'll get started here in just a second. But hope you're doing okay today. And it's early morning for me, and it's been a week. So it's been quite busy for me recently. You've got a big launch coming up for work. And so anyhow, I'm sorry that the content hasn't been as normal as I would have liked. So all good things, but just between travel and trying to take some time off and everything else, it hasn't quite been what I would have wanted, but happy to get back to some coding today. Actually thought about doing some more work with Eloquent JavaScript, but felt like I wanted to actually code some stuff because I haven't really been doing that recently. So that's what we're going to do today. Hopefully that's okay. But yeah, hopefully you're doing okay today, and looking forward to coding together. Let me just finalize a couple things on this OBS overlay I was setting up, and then we'll get started here. But I'd love to know where you're watching from. And yeah, I am using Next today. It's not really a statement. I just happened to set this project up with Next. Actually, fun fact, recorded this already, but it was like 2 weeks ago, and I don't remember what I did. But anyhow, I basically lost the recording. So I was like, I guess I will just do this as a live stream. But it was like an hour and some odd long recording. So it's kind of frustrating to lose it, but you know, stuff happens. It's okay. But anyhow, so hopefully today we don't lose anything. I don't think we will, since we're going to be live, but so we're kind of re-recording some stuff that I've already done before. Yeah, let me know where you're watching from. If there's something in particular you'd like me to talk about or cover or something like that, let me know as well. I'm always interested to know, people's perspective on that kind of stuff. And I think it's important to to keep going on a lot of the Astro stuff, just because I really enjoy it. It's what I code in a lot myself personally, but I also don't want to get so stuck in a rut that I can't do anything else. That wasn't really an intention today, but it did kind of happen accidentally. But yeah, let me know if you have any strong opinions about what I should or should not cover, and we can kind of go from there. Hopefully audio is okay, video is okay here in a second. And but thanks so much for joining me today. And let me switch everything over if I can to, let's see if I can get this set up. Here we go. All right. Hey, everyone. Hope you're doing okay. Welcome. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started here. It looks like I'm getting a warning in YouTube. So let me know if video and stuff and audio sounds okay. I'm going to assume that we're fine unless I hear otherwise. So we'll go ahead and get started here. And I do actually want to start by looking at the project here that we're looking at, which is from UI Design Daily. And I kind of feel like I have done this before. Like I know I just said I did it a couple weeks ago. Let me go ahead and get this scene set up. I don't know if this overlay is going to really work, but it'll at least work for today. All right, hopefully you can see me okay. But yeah, so this project is by UI Design Daily. And I think I did this like a year or two ago at least, but I couldn't find it. So, and then I did it again like 2 weeks ago, but lost all that. So we're going to just build this from scratch and get to do some UI, UX stuff today, which will be fun. I'm going to try to do it, I don't know, maybe hour and 20 minutes, something like that. So we'll see what we can do. I've done a little bit to set up. And like I mentioned, I already recorded this once, so you can follow that if you want to. I'll drop the GitHub repo in the description, and there will be a branch for my finished code I did before, and then a branch for whatever we do today. And we'll see how well my brain is working today. And you can pick between the two. So I'm going to get this thing up and running. I do actually have some instructions in the README here. I have I should run server somewhere else, but yeah, we'll run it in another section here. But I've got a JSON server set up here, and that way we can have like a little backend basically. So other than that, I've done nothing else. So if I jump over here, you'll notice we've got an empty page. This is telling me we're at localhost 3000, like that. And it should just say basically nothing. Yeah, start here. Okay, so all I've done is spin up this db.json to mimic what is in this image, basically. And what this will allow us to do is, can you see stuff okay? Okay, hopefully. I look like a little kid now. It's like, I'll fix it later. But yeah, what this will allow us to do is to focus on the actual UX UI and not like you watching me enter in data. So I took, I think, mostly the content here. I can't remember. And then I grabbed some images off Unsplash and threw them in this structure. It's not like a super complicated structure, so hopefully you'll forgive that. But other than that, we're going to basically do it from scratch. And I haven't really thought through it other than knowing I need these items. So we've got the name, avatar, the location, the tags, and the different roles they might have. Let's go ahead and get started. And I think the first thing I'm going to do, I don't even remember what I have in here. Do I have Tailwind? Yeah, okay. So we have Tailwind, so I guess that's what we're going to be doing. We'll use React, Next.js. And probably the first thing I want to do is actually come over here and let's just get rid of all this stuff. I don't know. Well, I don't really probably need to get rid of all this. I'm not going to try to make it super picture perfect. I think the idea for me is just to mostly focus on the actual JavaScript side of this and like get a basic layout, something like that. So, hey, Dante, Christopher or Chris. It's usually Chris, but I'll go by either. Okay, so let's get this started. I'm going to actually just pull this up here and let's think through what we're going to need. I know we're going to have these each as their own components. I know we're going to have buttons. We're going to have this kind of user state. So maybe let's just start with this top section. And I don't actually know if they give you like typography for this. I'm not going to really worry about that. Again, I'm going to focus mostly on the other stuff. So hopefully that's okay. So I'll come up top here and let's actually make this a main for the page. And then let's have this kind of top bar section. So here we're just going to have, well, first of all, yeah, let's have a little grid with a gap of 2. Something like that. And this will say, let me split this image actually like this. Let's see, not like that. Come on, there we go. Okay. And this will say users. So we'll have an H1, I guess. It's the only thing on the page. And let's do class name, font size, text, 2XL, something like that. Font, bold. All right, I think that'll work. And this probably is slightly bigger gap. And maybe actually this can be up above. And we'll just do a grid here. So we'll do like grid, gap 4. Sure. Let me know if audio and stuff is okay, by the way. It looks like it is on my side, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so that's the first thing. Next thing is we got this section here. We're going to make this probably flex because I think that'll be easier. So flex justify between. We'll do items center. And here we've got those two sections here. We've got this little search, and then we've got this reputation thing. Now that I think about it, I have to have these things interactive. And by default, this is going to be in Next. This will be generated on the server. So if I want this to be interactive, I'm going to have to use a use client component. So I think we should probably drop all this in its own little component. So we'll say, let's come over here and just create a components folder, components, and we'll call this something like filter app or something .tsx. All right. So we'll drop all this in here like that. And then let's just have an input search just so we know something's happening. And then I'll come back over here and let's grab this. We'll say filter app, pull this in here like that. Okay, so that should work. And then we should be able to pull in our data. Yeah, we'll pull it in server side. We could use the server action or we could just do it directly in here. We should probably just do it directly in here. Although, I don't know. I'd probably use a server action, but it's just a simple endpoint. So, okay. So let's actually see if we got it working. Let's come over here. Yeah, it looks like we did. Okay, so we've got users here. That's at least coming in. But now filter app is coming in. Why do I not see this? Hi. Oh, it's over here. Because it's split. Okay, so we probably also need to add some basic like padding 6 or something like that around. Oops, not there. Let's go back to the app page right here, and we'll do this. So we'll do like padding 8 or something like this. Place items center. I guess place content center too. I guess I'll put it all in the center. Okay. Or do I guess I just want content. Oops. Man, something's funky with VS Code today. Okay, cool. Let's do width full and yeah, I think that should work. Okay. Do I want it that way? Yeah, no, we're fine. Okay. So we've got hi here. Oh, we do have our search inbox. Okay, so let's go ahead and I guess let's first work on the search thing. Let's see. What's the name of the tab highlighter extension? I don't know. I'll look into audio is fine. Cool. Thanks, Dante. The tab highlighter, by that, do you mean like this sidebar thing? So let me know. Okay. So let's go ahead and build this search thing out. And maybe we actually make this its own component too. So we'll say like search input.tsx. Obviously, you'd want to make this more dry eventually, but let's just get something going. So we'll do search input, pull this in. All right. And then we'll do here, I think, so we've got a couple ways we can do this. We can wrap this all in a label, a div. Yeah, maybe let's just do a div like this, and then we'll have a label, and we'll point this to our search input, I guess is what we'll call it. And why don't we give this thing a class name? We'll say like SR only, so that we can only see on screen readers, but it'll say like search users. Okay, so I shouldn't see it in the UI at all, but now I want an input with the type of search. And for this, let's see, let's have this. Yeah, so we'll have both. This will be search input. And the ID as well will be a search input to tie those things together. Search input. Okay, I think that should work. Oh, get out of here, biome. Let's just fix this. No. Fix this, and we'll say, because I can. All right. So we got the search input name. Let's add a relative wrapper here, and that way, or class here, if I can type, and that way we can have this little search icon. We'll make a position absolute, and then like offset this for, I don't know, a little bit. So let's say class name. Yeah, this should work. So we're going to say border, rounded. And why is it typing small? What else do I want? Padding 2, I guess, something like that. Why don't we do this? We'll do padding Y of 2, P left of 7. I don't know, something like that, and then a P right of 4. All right, and then up here, we're going to have a SVG. So let's look inside here. We'll just find some kind of search icon. Okay, paste that thing in here, and we're probably going to have to change some of this stuff around, right? Yeah, so let's do alt, or we don't really need alt. Let's just do aria hidden, and we'll set this to true. Okay, cool. See, this needs to be like this for React. I think the rest of that's right. Okay, let's see where we're at with this. All right, could be better, but we're in the right spot. Let's come in here now and have a class name. We'll do absolute. My brain is still waking up. Apologies. Top 1 half, left 2. Let's do translate Y 50%. Okay, so if we click in here, that's about right. Let's do padding 9, something like that. All right, cool. So now when I type in here, this should work. Cancel out of that. All right, so we're getting something. We should probably put a placeholder on this. So let's do that, and we'll call it search users. All right, close enough. We'll come back here, add some like UX, better UX eventually, but or the UI, make that look better eventually. But all right, let's see. I want to learn React, saw, read, use effect, saw, view, ref. That's it. I mean, is React hard? It depends. I mean, at this doing basic stuff, not really. There's some complexity in React. I think the benefit of React is there's so many people who write in React, so you get a lot of help. There's also a lot of libraries, so you can get a lot of stuff without having to hand roll it like I am today. And it's just, obviously popular. There's a lot going on with it. Let me actually switch over real fast because I don't know what's in this downloads folder I keep showing. So let me hide that. Okay, cool. We're back. All right, let's go ahead and get these buttons in here. Now to do that, we're going to have to pull all this stuff in. And where I want to do that is at this page level, because in Next.js here, I can do all this server side. And this is by default a server action, like a server component. So I don't have to do use server or anything like that. What I can do instead is just do it like a direct fetch here. So we can say like request, we're just going to await fetch. And here, I don't know if I showed you this when we started. Where are we at here? Yeah, so this right here, port 4000, and this is actually the one I want. We can come in here and open this up and see all of our users. Now this is just because I've got db.json and I've got JSON server spinning this up as like a fake little endpoint. And that's so we can kind of interact with this as we would as if it were a real app. So what I want to do is grab all this and pull it in here. So I'm going to actually pull this in like this. And then I should be able to say, I could just call it data, I guess. We'll do rec.json. And then let's just see if this is console logging this properly. So if I hit this, I should get a console log on the server. Yeah, there we go. So I'm actually pulling in all the data. So that's as easy as it is. This all happens server side, but now I can pass it down to what will eventually be a client component in this filter app. So we'll say like users or something like that, and this will be my data. Now filter app doesn't take users right now, so we need to create that or destructure that inside here. So we'll say users, and this I'm going to need to create some kind of typing here. So we'll say types and then user.ts. All right. So let's pull in, I guess let's just grab one of these here. Or can I just I'll just grab the JSON. Here we go. So if I grab all this, I've got this handy JSON to TS thing in Raycast. I can just paste it in here and it basically gives me this. So we're going to just call this user. And like this, we'll export this interface and pull this in. So user like this, and then there we go. Okay, I think that should work. This is a type. So now we got these users being pulled in here, so we should be able to pick off the individual items we need. So if I come back over here, it's just whatever they happen to be. So let's see. So the roles, but I want to get unique roles. So like I've got new user editor, so I can't just like merge all those. So what we're going to do is maybe let's have this like filter button section. So we'll say like filter buttons .tsx. And this will also take in the same kind of type signature. So do I want to do that? Yeah, why not? All right, so let's pull this in here. We'll pull the user in. And now inside here, we're going to do some client stuff, but we'll also do it in the parent. So I'll probably just do use parent at the client. And then what I want to do down here is get a unique list of those roles, right? So we'll do that. Still don't get SSR. Like in concept or like how to do it in a particular framework or yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is take my fuzzy oversell lock in here. I was at Next.js last week or whatever it was, so who knows? Maybe there's like some subliminal stuff. But I figured like this is kind of a React app, so why not let's just play around with some of the new features. It actually might be kind of cool to do view transition like component stuff here, but we'll see. Okay, let's see. What am I doing? Let's get unique users. So I'll do like unique roles, I guess, roles. And I think what I'll do is just spread in here my users dot map. This is what I want to do. No, I want to do a new set. So we'll do a new set here where we'll take in the users, and he's been taken. Yeah, you're right. And what I want to do is take each user, which we'll just call you, and I guess probably what I want to do is some kind of flat map. So we'll flatten this out, and I just want to take the user dot roles. Is that right? Let's see. So let's pull this in over here, and this is going to be filter buttons like this, and we'll pass in the users, which will be equal to the users. So a little bit of prop drilling never hurt anyone. And we'll come over here, check on this down this way. Okay, cool. So I am getting an array. Cool. And this set has just the unique ones. Okay, cool. And I guess this needs to be like this, right? Let's try again. Yeah. Okay, so just the array of those items. So now I can use those to pass them and like create a little button. So that was the idea here. So let's have this as like class name, flex gap. I don't know. Man, why is my keyboard not typing? Flex wrap. And we're going to say that for each unique role, we're going to map over this. And for each role, we're going to pass it to a button here. Because this is actual like React, I've got to have some kind of ID or something. Why is this? Oh, deal with it. We're going to have a button here. Don't worry. All right, so we need to have a key for each of these. I always love how like in these streams, my brain slowly wakes up over the hour, and by the time we're done, I'm actually awake. So thanks for helping me get ready for work. I guess this is a get it ready for work tutorial now. So we're going to have that. We'll have the R in here. Provide an explicit type prop. Oh, biome, get out of here. Type equals button. Okay, so now I've got each of these as separate buttons. So that'll work. Again, I need these things to be interactive. And right now, like if I try to make them interactive, so if I do like a on click handler and I say like, I guess on click, we're just going to console log. I clicked. I should get an error down here. See, well, I don't even have to go down there. It tells me we've got issues. And the issue is I'm trying to pass this into this event handler into this client component. So I need to convert this thing to a client component because it's not currently. So into a server component. So what I'll do is this whole thing here, we'll just call this use client. And now the entire thing here is going to be interactive. So I can click on this and it should console log clicked. Okay. So it's like the directive in Astro, right? Okay. I kind of decided to move low level stuffs. Nice. I'm going to stick with Astro View. That'll get the job done. Hey, I'm never going to fight you for using Astro. So we're going to do gap 6, justify between item center. I think that all works. Okay. So maybe let's make this thing a little bit bigger so we can actually space this out and just make sure everything's working. I also want this thing to be width full. Why is this thing not stretching the full width? What am I missing here? I don't know. We can figure that out later. Okay, filter buttons back over here. So now we've got the individual buttons. We'll style these in a little bit. Let's focus on functionality though. And I'm going to just probably pass a function down to filter this. Yeah, I think so. All right. So for now, let's just get rid of that too. Okay, that means let's just add those cards now. And maybe let's get that image back up here. So where's my image? Right over here. I'll split this thing. And let's create these little cards. So I'm going to come in here. We're going to have like user cards .tsx. And this is going to take in a user. And so let's type this user as a type of user, like that. Okay, cool. And then we've got all this stuff that's coming in here. We got the name, the image, all this kind of stuff. So probably set this up as flex, I guess. So that's what I would do. So let's do flex gap 2. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll do padding, I don't know, 6, rounded, medium, background, slate 50, something like that. And then we're going to have 2 sections. We'll have the image. So let's see. Yeah, I can pull in the next image component. I'm not sure why. I think my astral brain went to image anyhow. So we're going to pull in the SRC. This will be equal to the user. What am I doing? User.avatar. I think that'll work. And then we'll have an alt here. This will be the user.name. And then let's set a width and height on here. So we'll do like 100. Height, we'll do 100 as well. And let's see, are they coming in? Nope, because I'd never put them in here. All right, so now we need to actually add them to the filter app right over here. So this will be below all this stuff. Filter app. So we actually need to have a new section here. So we're going to do just, I guess, a fragment. We don't really need any kind of wrapper because our parent already has a gap on it. And then this is our user. I guess we need to map. Let's just have the wrapper here. So we're going to say grid. Grid calls. We'll go small. Grid calls 2. Medium. Grid calls 3. Gap 2. Call it a day. Inside here, we're going to take our users that I get in. What is going on today? Users dot map, and we're going to map over each person. And for each person, we're going to pass them to our user card, and we're going to have a user that will be the user that we passed in. Okay. What did I do wrong? Maybe. Missing key prop. Oh, get out of here. Key will be the user.name. What am I doing wrong? Users.map. There we go. Okay. All right. They are all there looking beautiful and stretched. So let's fix that. So let me come inside here. User card. I'll say class name, object cover. Yeah. Rounded. Full. Aspect. Square. Aspect. Square. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that'll work. These seem a little big though, so 80, something like that. Let's get our image back up here. And then maybe we'll just try to do the rest without looking, kind of see where we can get. There's an image over here. Yeah, probably even smaller than that. So we'll go 70. Okay. So we've got the image, and then we've got this kind of stack of sections here. I don't know what these tag things are. Like, they don't show you anything else in the UI. There's some kind of hover state we probably want to add as well. So let's not forget that, I guess. So we'll say hover is, I think it's just like add a border. So let's do this. Let's do border transparent. And then we'll change the border to like slate 100. I don't know, something like that. And And then we'll do shadow XL, shadow none, and then on hover, we'll also change this to shadow XL. Add block to input maybe? I don't understand, Dante. All right, so down here, let's take grid, gap 2, 4, 3, something like that. We'll have two little sections here. So I'll have this little grid container with gap 1 maybe. And we'll have the name. So we'll do font bold. And this will just be whatever the user dot name is. And then below that, we'll have maybe like text small, I think. And we'll have user dot location. All right, and then below here, we have one little other section, and this is the tags that we've got. I think that's what I called them. So we'll do flex, gap 1, sure, text extra small. What else do I want? Flex wrap, flex wrap. Okay, so then we're going to take our user dot tags, dot map, and for each tag, we'll just pass this to like a span, I guess. Yeah, so let's have a span, and we'll just have the T inside here. And we need this to be, yeah, I guess all these, this section here doesn't really have to be, no, yeah, it does. Okay, sorry, ignore me, mumbling to myself. That's just gonna be the key. Okay, I think that should work. Let's make these things look kind of close to what they should. So we'll say tag class. We already have a text extra small. So why don't we just say like leading none, and then we'll say py 0.5 and px 1, something like that. Okay, so I would say that is not horrible and also not awesome. So we got some room. So we'll do items start, or yeah, that should work. What else do I need to do? Let's add a border on these things. So I guess they don't really need a background color unless they're hovered. Do they have a background color? It's very faint. So maybe they do have a background color. Very faint background color. All right, and we'll do transition all. We get at least some transition all. We get some nice fading-ish. Yeah. Shadow, slate, 200, something like that. Back that off a touch. Yeah. Okay, cool. Border slate 100. What am I messing up on that border? Hover, border, slate. Border transparent. Is this not the right thing? Say border. Why do I have no IntelliSense right now? All right, we're going to just reload this window because I don't know what's going on with VS Code today. Always blame the tools when you can. So we're going to say slate 200. Am I just forgetting how to do border and okay. 400. 500. Why am I not seeing this? Oh, I don't have a border on it. All right. We'll get there eventually. All right, we're pretty close though. I mean, I'm okay with that for the time we've spent. Let's add a border on here. We'll do like background white, rounded full, border slate 200, just to back that thing off a little bit. And maybe we can bump this up. So we'll say 101. I would say that that's fairly close. Okay, good enough for our purposes. So now what I need to do is make this filterable and this searchable as well. So we're going to do both those next. What is going on over here though? Oh, I added padding. Okay, details. All right, so let's come to the filter app. We'll jump inside here. Don't need this. All right, and then we can do this on just the page itself, which I think we already did. Yeah, so we're fine. Let's also place, no, that should be fine. We'll do min height screen or something like that. So it's in the middle of the screen, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. All right, I was happy with the input is the searching was suggesting adding block class to fit. Oh, okay. Sorry. The delay sometimes throws me off. But yeah. Okay, so let's handle these kind of separately. We need some kind of state in this filter app component. So we've got the buttons we need to style still. But yeah, so we've got some kind of state we need to handle. So let's think through it. We're going to have our existing users, whatever they happen to be. So we should have like a current user state or something like that. We could add this to like a query param as well, I guess. I don't remember what I did last time. So well, we definitely want like a current selected user or something like that. So selected user or yeah, selected filter. So we'll say filter and set filter. And this will be equal to use state. And right now, basically, what do I want this shape to take? It'll either be nothing, an empty string, or it will be a user dot, nope, role. Does that work? I guess these are just strings is probably how they're typed. Let's check. Yeah, they're just strings. So it's just a string. So I don't even need any of this. That should infer it. Okay. So we're going to use this filter. And whenever we have this filter selected, then we want to pass selected users based on that filter. So let's have like a use effect here. And let's take in the filter as part of our state. And then I guess we've also got the user. Oops. This needs to be in an array. Like that. All right. So this use effect, this hook specifies more. It's fine. We're going to fix it. All right. So we need to have this kind of filter state where we eventually pass out like filtered users. So, or like current users or yeah. How about this? Current. Let's call it filtered users. Filtered users, set filtered users. And by default, something's messed up on my computer. It's like really slow right now. We'll do use state. And by default, this is just going to be all users. They get passed in here. All right, so this filtered users is what I want to use on the users here. But obviously, I still want all the users to be part of my filter buttons. Okay, so when I click on a button, what I want to happen is to update this right here. So I guess all I need is when the filter changes, then I want to update my filtered users. We'll figure that out in a second. But I do want this at a higher level, I think. Or I could just pass down the filter. No, let's do a function here. We'll call this like const handle filter click. I don't know if this is the best way to do this. We're going to take in a user. So this will just be like a role. So this would just be a string, I guess. So we'll take in a role. And then I want to update my set filter. And this will be whatever role I passed in. Now, it's possible that I click it and the role already exists. So I guess what I'd want to do is first check to see if the filter equals the role. Then I want to set the filter to an empty string. Otherwise, I want to set the, Come on. Set filter to the role that I passed in. All right, now we're going to pass this down to the filter buttons. I don't know if I need this at this level. I guess I do because this set filter up there. Okay, so we'll do handle filter click, which will be handle filter click. And then this buttons here will take in handle filter click as well. And this handle filter click will be a type of, this will be a function. It takes in a role. Do I need to say what it is? I guess not really. String. And then returns void. What am I doing wrong? So we're going to set this on click handler to handle filter click. Okay. So if I click on this, let's see. What I need to do, is I need to take my role, whatever that role happens to be, and pass that in. Yeah, so we're going to now on click, pass it to handle filter click, which will be the R. I think that's right. And this should be type of string. What am I messing up here? Has a name, but no type. Did you mean arg string? How am I forgetting how this thing goes? String any. Oh, role string. So new user, voters, all this stuff should actually be setting this. So let's check. What I'm going to do is just have this use effect, and every time the filter changes, let's just console log the filter. All right, so let's open this up. See if I did something horribly wrong. New users, voters, that unchecks it. Cool. All right, so we probably also need to style this eventually. So let's get this button styled. So here's my image. What are these things supposed to look like? Okay, so what we're going to do is, I guess they don't really have a whole lot going on. But when they're down here, let's add some basic styling. So class name, we'll say like px6 or I don't know, 4, py2. It looks like more than that, but I don't know, it's fine. Place item center. Do I need anything else? Not really. I guess we'll say like rounded medium or something. Not that it'll matter because they should be the same background color. However, we could say like if the filter, so we probably should also pass down the filter here. And this will be, oops. Come on. This will just be a string. And then let's pass in the filter here. If this is the same as the role, then we can style it differently. So let's pass that down there. All right, so we're going to say here that, oops. If the filter is the same as the role, then let's add a background of like blue, I don't know, 600. Otherwise, we can just pass an empty string. All right, so let's see if that works. Whoa, it does. It's way too bright, but it's fine. Let's do 400 and then 500, and we'll also do like a text white or something like that. Text white? Yeah. All right, that works. All right, now I've got a votor and a votors, which means my data is corrupt. I'm pretty sure I probably found that last time. I don't remember that, but I must have. Votor, yeah. All right, so they should all be the same. There we go. Votors, vote. Oh my. I said votors and then spelled it the same way. All right, so there we go. So now we've actually got these things. Now all I have to do is basically update the state here in the filter app. So let's come back over here. And what we want to do is take my set filtered users like this, and we're going to take whatever their previous state was. And actually what I want to do is take the users, initial users, right? And I just want to filter off that. Yeah, I think that's right. So I should probably also take in the users here since I'm using them. And we'll also use the filters. Yeah, so we're going to take whatever the previous state was, I guess. Do I need that? Not really. I'm just going to, here, let's say get new users. This is just going to be my users dot, oops, man, filter. We're going to take my users, just take any user whose roles. This should know what this filter is. Goodness gracious. U dot roles dot includes whatever my filter is. I think that's right. So these will be my new users, and now I'm going to set my filtered users to my get new users, I guess. We'll call this new filtered users. Man, like I don't, something's seriously messed up. I must have some process running that. Because every time I do anything with my keyboard, it's like slowing stuff up. Okay. All right. So if we did this correctly, yeah. So now it should just, oh my, we're getting rid of, what did I do wrong? Users, whenever this happens. Okay. So I need to do a little check. So we're going to say if filter equals this, then for right now, I'll just return. And then I will do this. Okay. So let's refresh. Okay. That way we actually can show all those. Let's see. Filters all. Why is that not returning to everything? New filtered. All right. So if it equals that. Okay. So no, if it equals this, then what I want to do is set filtered users. Filtered users to the users, the original users. All right, now I think that's correct. Let's see. Set filtered users. Why would this be wrong? Return. All right. Yep. All right, so we got that working. That's good. I'm going to come over here to these buttons. I know Tailwind doesn't do this anymore, but I'm going to say cursor pointer. Nice. Okay. And lastly, why don't I just come to this page here? Let's do, this is driving me insane. So we'll do, remove that, and that way it just stays. No, I do want that. What do I want? Items start. Is that right? No, that's not right. We're going to do justify content center. There we go. Okay. And then maybe place items center. Is that right? Start. No, let's do this. Let's align items. Is that right? Chris, place items start. The top. I just don't want this to jump around like this. I'm not thinking through how this, that doesn't work. Let me get rid of this. We'll do place items center. It's still jumping around. I know how to do this at some point in my brain, but not this morning. It's just because I'm wanting it in the middle of the screen, which is probably the issue. So let's just do that, and then everything's fine. Okay. New users. Okay, so the last thing I need to do is just add this search thing, right? And then I think we're pretty much there. I mean, obviously there's some UX stuff we could do better. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so let's come over here and let's think through what we need. So filter app, the search input. I need to track the state of like whatever the search thing is. And I think I'll do it at this level too, so I can just use the same use effect. So we'll say like search term and set search term. We'll set this equal to use state, and this will just be an empty string again. Okay, so search term here. Let's pass this down here like this. This will be search term, and then set search term, and this will be set search term. All right, so both of these we're going to pass down to the search input. So they'll take in search term and set search term. So this will be a string, and this will be a function. So set search term. What are these things called again? Dispatch. Yeah, this thing. All right, set a search term be equal to this, I think. I think that's right. Okay, so now what we want is here. I'm going to have the value will be equal to the search term. And then we'll have on input. We'll change the value here to set search term will be equal to and we're going to set this to the search term. I think that's right. Let's see. Does it break completely when I type stuff? Yes. This is the initial value, the default value. On input, I can just pass it this thing, right? Oh no, I have to pass it the... It's been too long since I've done basic things. Let's see. Cannot update component app while rendering different component search component. What am I doing wrong here with search input React? A basic interactive on change set search term. What did I do? On input? Oh. Did I name it the same thing? Look at that. Okay. All right, so let's try now. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So now all I have to do is basically use this to track the search. So probably what I would do is just do it off the person's name. So if any part of what you're typing is included in their name, we'd also filter down for that. All right, so all I need to do then is check if the filter is equal to nothing. We're going to do that. If the filter isn't equal to nothing, then the other check I want to have, I know what. Let's do this. So we'll first get the filtered users. Then I'm going to check to see if the search term, if this also equals nothing. So we'll need another check here. Then I'm just going to set it like this. Return here. Yes, but if it equals nothing, we're going to do that to whatever this happens to be. I guess we also need some kind of check on the initial search as well. So I guess we could also say that the search term would have to be equal to nothing. Or we could check this in a different way. Yeah, so let's say, assuming that there's some kind of search term. Say if there is no filter, let me think through the logic of this. Yeah, so we have this filter that's first checking to see if any button has been clicked. So if there is no button that's been clicked, I want to do return it immediately. However, I also may want to check to see if there's a search term, right? So let's just say for both of these, I think that may be the easiest way to handle this. It's a search term. If this also equals 0, then I know I can just return directly here. Okay, so that's the first use case. So this is if none are set. All right, second would be if only filter, and then that would be right here. So I guess that this handles this, right? And then this would be if the return filter. Yeah, so that's all right. And then down here would be if both are set. Is there also if only one is set? If only search term. So if there's no filter and no that, otherwise I'm going to take the filter if it includes the filter. So I probably also need, I don't know why I'm struggling with the logic of this. This should not be that hard. Okay, if only a search term exists, but no filter. So maybe let's do that next. So if there's no filter here, right? Okay, so if there's no search term, there could possibly be a filter. Maybe we just handle these separately. I don't know why this logic is messing with me right now. Yeah, so let's just say if the filter equals nothing. So at this point, filter, so this could still take place. Okay, that's when we'll do this. Sorry. Then we're going to return early. So then we'll return set filtered users. Now, again, this should be like, we're still want to do some kind of check in here, right? So filter equals none. Okay, let's do it messy and then we'll fix it because I'm trying to do this optimized and for whatever reason my brain is not working today with this. So if there is no filter, first of all, I want to check on the search term, right? So we're going to take our search term and we'll just loop through every name and see if that includes that name. So I'm just going to take the users dot, say const new filtered users, inner scope, it's fine. And we'll take the users dot filter where we're going to grab the user and we just want to take the user dot name dot, why not, to lowercase, and we'll just say if the name is included, dot includes the filter dot to lowercase. Okay, so if the only users that have the name that is part of what the type strings will be these new users, and I'll set the new filtered users to that. Okay, so this is if there's only a search term. So if the filter is nothing, but I've gotten through here, I know there's only a search term. Yeah, that should work. Now, on this hand, let's say the filter is something, but the search term must be nothing. Right? I think so. So, right here. So let's say if only filter, so if the search term is nothing, then I know that I can just set it directly like this, right? I think so. So we're going to duplicate some logic here at some point. So otherwise, what I want to do is first of all grab this new searched users, and I'm going to start with just these users, and then I will filter off of these. So we'll come down here, and again, there's a much cleaner way to do this, but I'm going to take the searched users like this, and then we will set the filtered users on here. I'm not sure why this was so difficult. Okay, so, well, let me make sure it works first before I go start talking. Okay, so we're in here. I searched for Annie. It didn't work. Awesome. Big fan, big fan of that. Okay, so we have both. We should search first search, filter in the users. Do I not have, oh, I don't have the search term in here. That's why it didn't work. Maybe. You can never be too sure. Okay. So we're going to refresh. Layla. Okay, so that's not working. All right, so let's come inside here. We know there's a search term. There's no filter, so here we should check off that search term. So let's just make sure we're actually in here. So let's open it up. There we go. Okay, so search term. Okay, so we are getting in here. Now the users that filter, we're going to take the name. If the name includes the filter, if the filter includes the name. So we got to just spin this thing around. All right, fell apart here. So if the filter dot lowercase dot includes the name dot to lowercase. Any see, it's got to include the whole name. So it should have been the other way around. I think I had it right. What did I mess up then? If the name lowercase includes the filter dot to lowercase, the search term. Oh my. All right, Layla, we're going to get this if it kills us. So we're going to look at new users who happen to also be, who do I have as a new user? So Layla. All right, so we've got the same issue though, right? So down here, I need to just update this to be search user is the search term. All right, and let's pull this up. Okay, cool. All right, now we've got new users. I can search for Layla. That works. Voters, get rid of those. Layla, that works. Okay, we got it functional. Took us a little bit of time, but we got there in the end. I've been doing so much video editing this week, and I've coded not a single line of code in the week. So my brain needed a little bit of code refresher, but hopefully you enjoyed that in spite of all the challenges. It was semi-fun. It took us an hour. Should have probably been less than that, but hopefully that helped kind of walk through how I'd structure this. Now, we didn't really pay attention to any kind of new UX stuff we could do. So there are some kind of cool things we could do. So I could come into this user card, I guess. And around the user card, let's see if this will work. I should be able to just use the view transition like component. Maybe. Illegal constructor, get out of here. Why is this illegal? View transition. Well, I need to pull this in. Cannot be used as the JS. It's type as view. Oh, not that. Okay. Well, let's see if it'll let us add it over here. Filter app. Isn't it like view transition? I think that's it. Oh, it's from React. Okay, so let's try this again, but let's pull it in the way we should. I think that was the issue. So let's grab all this. And we're going to take the view transition from React, this new 19.2 thing. I mean, we've had it in Astra for a long time. No shade at all. Just saying, we have. And now, look at this nice little fading animation. Maybe? I don't know if it actually is. I can't actually tell if it's fading or not. Yeah, there's like a little fade. See that? We could probably increase the like view of that, but it is actually fading. So if I said like Amy, yeah. So anyhow, there's a slight little transition there. Anyhow, hopefully that was nice. So, all right. Well, I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. On to more video editing. See you later.